24/7. How does karma work? I think about a lot of that stuff. I think now at this point though, I'm kind of setting in my way of thinking. I used to think about back when I really was just really making stupid decisions.
Okay.
Like, would this ever come back on me? Honestly, at the point in time when I was doing something stupid, I honestly just didn't care.
Right.
And as my life started transitioning, I guess that's when I heavily would think about when would that come back to bite me in the butt. But now it's like when things happen to me, I'm a big believer of everything happens for a reason.
Correct.
And I might not even know what the reason is until 10 years from now. Like, I met you at Sally Z, and I honestly, like, there might be something bigger in store for all of us in this room because of the relationship that we built, but we don't even know it. We might not know that until a couple of years from now.
Of course.
And one thing I've been having to tell myself as of recently, anytime something happens that's not deemed as good in my eyes, it's like this is a part of a plan. You probably don't even understand the whole blueprint or the layout of the plan yet, but it's all a plan. And I was just telling my friend C. Will today, man. I was telling him I met him because I was trying to make some money by taking pictures for people.
Gotcha.
And the reason that I was trying to make some money by taking pictures is because I lost my job. And it's like if I had never lost my job, I wouldn't have began trying to make money in other ways.
It created room for you.
And I ended up meeting so many more people, and now like things are honestly changing for me within a matter of like a month now.
Right.
Like things have honestly gone from a big pile of dog doodle to like honestly brightening up for me in ways that I can't really explain.
That's real.
Like for real.
How, like, so a lot of people, I've heard this before. Some people say our jobs are actual distractions. They can be distractions from what we're supposed to be doing.
I agree.
Well, have you been at a job that you felt like it was stealing your time from what you really wanted to be doing?
You said stealing from my time?
Not necessarily. That may not be the good word. It may not be making. It may
I
not
thought
be.
You said steal in my time.
No. It's stealing like your time.
Yes, I feel like that about a lot of things. Though.
Okay, all right. Elaborate on that.
Because I'm not the biggest fan of school, but I am still in school, and I'm pursuing to get my bachelor's of psychology.
For sure.
But even in classes, a lot of times I'm thinking on business things. I'm thinking on things that I could be doing to kind of like prepare me in a better direction with Sabo World as a brand, as a lifestyle brand, and just other things that I honestly want to pursue. And of course, working different jobs that I have no passion for. I have no love for. I'm just doing it because I really have to pay my bills.
Right.
Every time I get a job that I don't feel like it's really going to be beneficial for what I really see myself doing, then I feel like, yes, it is taken from my time. And to be all the way real, I went to see my advisor last week.
Okay.
And she was telling me 2 years. 2019, May 2019 would be my expected graduation date, and I ain't gonna lie. When she told me that, I was like, dang, like, that's 2 years I gotta be in these classrooms again. And that could be time that I could be using chasing my real dream.
Right.
So, I definitely think about that like
a lot.
25/8, not even 24/7. Like for real.
Understood.
So, what are some advice that you have for people who are trying to develop their own brand or their own presence? As you know, you got Sabo World, you got merchandise, wristbands.
By the way,
last year you gave me
and check it out. I'm prepackaged now.
And I got the blue one in my car. I meant to wear it.
I'm prepackaged now, man, and I got y'all a special color right there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on right now.
Me too.
That is tight, man. So you got wristbands. What other things that you have?
Yeah.
Right now all I have is wristbands and shirts. I'm working on more things.
Like this.
And hopefully by the end of this month, I will have my daily inspirational text messages going back out in the mornings.
That's real. That's definitely real, man. So, like, when you went to that transition, for some people who are trying to start their business or try to get some type of merchandise, what are some things that they have to be thinking about? Somebody sitting right here right now listening saying, I got an idea, but I don't know how to make that idea come to life as a product. So what thought process do you think they should have?
First off, man, whatever ideas you have, like, make sure you keep them.
Right.
Like, write them down, record them. Whatever you got to do in order to make sure you don't lose it, because you never know. You might have $1 million thought in your head.
Do.
And if you never get it out, then that's just like, it's gone.
Right.
You know, what's the quote or the question they ask? Why is the graveyard the richest place in the world?
Yeah.
It's many different answers to it, but one is mainly because, you know, a lot of people don't really pursue their dream.
Right.
And that's like step number 2, man. Just whatever you have an idea for, if you think that it's gonna work and you loving it,
right,
like, just step head first. Just do something to make sure that you can get it started. That's really the first step. A lot of people are afraid of what others might say, what others might think, and I can't lie, I go through that daily still.
That's a human thing, I believe. I think if we're social creatures, I think we always having other people's point of view,
opinions, and
we just can't be controlled by them, you know?
Yeah. So that's probably like that's the next thing, like, be fearless. Don't care what nobody says. And that's something I have to continue to tell myself still, like, because like you said, that's just everybody. We're going to naturally be like, oh, man, I want to.
Because other people got eyes, man.
Yeah. But, like, be fearless, whatever you got an idea to do, just do it regardless of what people say. Because you can't please everybody. If you try to please everybody, you're going to be unhappy. You're honestly going to be unhappy. People
pleasers are some of the most stressed out individuals because they won't be able to do it.
They are the most.
Yeah, they are the most, right?
Gotta be. I mean, really, those are like 3 things that I feel like can be essential to starting.
Right.
And, you know, once you start, you'll learn through experience. A lot of time, like, you could read all the books you want to on business 101
for the world
and everything, but, you know, until you actually get your foot in the game and start doing something, like, that's the best way you really gonna learn how to do anything. Start meeting the right people, get you a good mentor or a good partner, somebody that's gonna keep you on track, somebody that's gonna hold you accountable.
Correct.
You know, it's good to hold yourself accountable, but if you got a partner, just like if you go in the gym, you hitting the weights, your homeboy, yeah, man, somebody that's gonna be there and push you, even when, you know, you feel like you pushing yourself enough, they're gonna push you a little bit more.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question, man. When I ask you these series of questions, and when we ask you questions, there's no right answer to this.
Okay.
All right. And you don't have to dress it up either. If you don't know, you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why were you born?
I felt like I was born to help people, man. I don't even know in what sense.
Okay.
But honestly, I feel like in some way, shape, I feel like that's why everybody's here. We're here for each other at the end of the day. Honestly, like, you can't do nothing on your own. You need people.
Okay.
Like, the things that I've gone through are bigger than me. It's for me to tell somebody about.
Right.
You know, for my nephews and my nieces, my god kids, it's for me to be able to tell them, like, you ain't gotta go down that road. Like, I've been down that road.
Right.
I got the experience. So if you just let me tell you what I done been through, you'll know what to deviate from or how to maneuver when you hit this road. But I think that's really why I feel like I'm here. I'm here for a reason, and I think that reason is to help people.
To help people.
Yeah.
How much help have you received?
How much help have I received?
Right.
I feel like more than I actually think I have.
Yeah.
Because I got to thinking about it one day. You know, like I said, I'm very prideful on being able to say I did something by myself.
Right.
But when I think about the life situations that I've gone through that have caused me pain and caused me hurt and caused me to break down, there was always somebody or a group of people that were there, and it might not have been every step of the way, but right when I was about to slip and just like lose it all, somebody was there to do something, whether it was the smallest gesture or whether it was something grand. There was always somebody that'll help me. So I really do believe I've gotten more help than I actually give credit for.
I think we have a lot of supporters behind our back that we've never met.
Yeah, I agree.
I've realized
I agree.
I've had instances where people have responded saying, "Oh, I heard about you from this person," but you didn't even know that person, and you were like, "Hold on, it's some stuff going on that ain't got nothing to do with me." You know what I mean? And so, and that's the power of that type of perception. Like you, just like you saying, I think I got more help than I actually realized, and I think that's where true help lies. You know what I mean? I think Anytime when you got people working behind the scenes to make sure you're straight. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I didn't understand how deep it can get till you find out how many people were praying for you. You know, just I have a conversation with my grandmother from time to time, and I just be like, "You'll pray for me," and she's like, "What you mean pray for you? You got to request it." That I pray for you every day. Yeah, and you be like, "That's already in the stone." And you know, and then you know. You don't know how long somebody done requested that your life be better. You know, you just don't know. Oh my God! You know, you just don't know. And you know, I think that's one of those humbling yet focus-driven things that we can start doing, because sometimes when we get isolated, we talk about isolation on the show a lot. We by ourselves. Nobody loves us. Nobody likes us. This, that, and the other. And we're trying to change that narrative because we are responsible for how we think. Yeah. We are responsible for how we interpret the information that we see through media. Yeah. How we portray through not only media but in real life. Because honestly, you know, art imitates life, and some of the things that we see on the media, some people emulate those images in front of us. So that actually confirms a lot of our insecurities when we see things that misrepresent us on TV, in the movies, in music, and then we see it in front of us. That's not always the best thing for us to see. You know what I mean? And you know, when we talk to the youth, man, I want to get your input, because I know we talk to young children. You know what I mean? Where do you see them now? How are they interpreting a lot of these things that they're seeing in our society right now? What's your opinion on that?
Man, a lot of times I guess I try to compare the kids like from the elementary schools that we the mentor at. I try to compare them to how like me and my friends were growing up. Okay. And I feel like I sound like a old man or adult, because you know everybody, that generation just so lost and just wild, and this. You know, it's like that's how it's been each generation. And I don't want to be that cliche person that just like fell off from understanding the next generation. But I ain't gonna lie, man, like sometimes I feel like the kids 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, really older than that as well, are just in a different zone. Different element. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man, like it seems like things are starting younger and younger and younger and younger and younger, like very young.
One of the things I try to not do is say some of the stuff that was said to me when I was young. Yeah, exactly. Because, we all made mistakes, right? But I didn't have this much access to random stuff. Yes, the internet. I think the access to just poison across the board. Because it got to the point where, you know, we ain't have, you know, when I was in elementary school, I ain't had no cell phone. You know, I thought God came back when I had a pager. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? Somebody can reach me. I can't dial out, but somebody can reach me, so I can go to a payphone. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. But now they got apps where they got 3 and 4 different usernames where they can just tell everybody where they at all over the time. You know, and what's making it so bad with social media, it makes it much easier to lie to everybody.
True indeed.
And a lot of the lies that people are watching,
the kids believing it.
It's the truth to them. It's the truth, because what's happening is the lies that they see on social media are confirmed what they see in society in many cases. So now when I look at social media, well, you know, that reality gets confirmed. I saw it in school the other day. I guess that's what everybody doing. And if I see this person doing this and they got a whole bunch of money and I need money,
I'm going to do the same.
It look like I'm going to have to do this. You know? So it's one of those things where, you know, one thing I try to make sure we do, and we talked about this at the school a lot, we got to just try our best not to blame the children for the world we created for them. You know what I mean? They didn't ask to be exposed to all this stuff. They didn't ask, you know, to be responsible for having the stuff that's going on. Because, you know, a lot of people say, well, the youth are crazy. I say, well, let's just ask, would you trade places with them?
Man, I tell my mama this every time.
Would you trade places with them?
Every time, my mama be saying that, because you know we're out here in the street doing the groundwork with the kids, trying to make a difference. And there's some folks that's over here that's just they ain't got nothing to say. They judgmental. They criticize. They talk down. They critique.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are you doing to make a difference?
Making it worse.
What are you doing to change? If all you're gonna do is point the finger and blame game, when you are a part of the culture that helped to create what's coming up next.
Yes.
Then like, what are you really doing? I asked my mama one day. She was like, "Man, these boy crazy."
Yeah.
I was like, do you even know what they be going through? Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you willing to at least sit down and talk to one of them to try to help or something?
Exactly.
And I don't, man.
And one of the biggest issues is the fact, I was discussing this last night about my son, how I was going to try to conduct myself, because we're seeing now that children are really alone when they go to school. Yeah. They have people that's over them in authority, which no matter what they, in some cases, there are some people in the school system, they're trying to actually help these kids. Yeah. And they went into it to help kids. For that But there's purpose. Also some people in there that went into it for the check. Yeah. And then what I fear the most is if my child is intelligent, and my child challenges anything that come from this system. There's kids who just get in trouble. They call that talking back.
Straight up.
For asking a question.
Straight up.
I don't agree with that. So it's like you got these parents who look at the school system as a daycare to negate their responsibility of being a parent. I'm not saying every time your child goes to the school and the teacher say they're acting up that
somebody lying.
But at the same time, look at your child outside of that environment. Is your son or daughter, do they give you that kind of problem at home? Are they problematic at home? Do they have issues learning at home? What made the problem is that maybe the environment in school is not as nurturing at home. And sometimes vice versa. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're not having those conversations.
Yeah, I agree with you.
How would you what Dale just said, just to piggyback off that, how would you humanize the child in? For a lot of people who like to take their voice out of the situation, how would you add the humanity to the children?
Like, rephrase for me to understand a little better.
I would say, like, the picture has been painted for a lot of kids before the adult even gets there. Let's rewind to back when you were there, when they accused you. They already painted the picture for your mom before you got there, right? This is me going out on a limb. I'm pretty sure they didn't have an extensive conversation with you before they called your mom, right? And so right there, that's the total lack of respect of that child, right? If they're old enough to be blamed for some type of crime, they could be old enough to be communicated with, right? However, a lot of people say, well, you young, stop talking. You just a kid. And so a lot of people don't understand you do strip some type of their autonomy of having, a right to speak at that moment. But since they're small human beings, people force their mouth closed, especially when somebody wants to blame them, And I'm not telling you, see, this is the thing. I'm not saying that kids are not mischievous. I'm not saying that kids don't make mistakes. I don't think that it's I'm not saying the kids don't lie sometimes. What I'm saying is, how can you be so sure once you just made your mind up and not even ask them? You know what I mean? I would say I think all human beings deserve that conversation. I think a couple of questions. If that teacher would have came to you instead of saying he must have stole it, if he would have said,
communicate,
hey Mike, tell me what's up, what happened? And then based off the information you might have gave that teacher, she could have probably put two and two together. Or instead of saying, hey, your son stole something, she could have called your parents and say, look,
a better way to handle
your son has been accused of stealing something. However, I can't prove it. Can you come down so we can at least try to get to the bottom of it before we start labeling your son?
Youth does not equal to a lack of right to defend themselves.
I feel like a lot of people don't understand that though. Right. A lot of, and like you were just saying, a lot of people go into that field of education just really like a fallback plan. A lot of people get a degree.
They don't want
in something that just ain't really working out for them, and next thing you know, let me go teach 6th grade history, or let me go teach high school math or something.
You know what I'm finding out? I'm finding out a lot of people who were majored in education, that was their 5th, 6th, and 7th major. Wow. It's not true for everybody, but I've encountered a lot of people where education was that, I got to do something.
See, and I feel like education or something like working in the medical field, those are things that you have to have a heart for it. You have to you have to have compassion.
You gotta want to do it.
Yeah, you can't just go in and just, like you said, just want that chick. Like, you dealing with real people,
Right?
That need understanding. They need all the real that humans need,
right?
You know, so yeah,
Straight
I definitely
up,
agree with y'all, man.
Straight up, man. So I would say this. Well, let me ask you this. What do people not understand about God, in your opinion?
Man, a lot. I feel like God might just be misunderstood altogether by people, honestly.
Please elaborate on that.
I mean, regardless of whatever a person's belief is, I feel like you know how they say Muslims are extreme over in the Middle East? Mm-hmm. You have extremists in every religion. And I feel like whatever your religion is, those people that are, they so headstrong in whatever they believe, it takes away from whatever should really be pushed out. Mm-hmm. You know, at the end of the day, God is love. Mm-hmm. You know, like, that's the message. Mm-hmm. God always gonna be with you regardless of what you go through. But I feel like a lot of people deviate from that, and that takes away. That's what creates that confusion or that misunderstanding, because people can't really find what's really real, because it's so many smoke and mirrors from, like, the wrong things being in front of people. For example, a teacher that this was their fallback plan, just to jump into education. Mm-hmm. They're not going to really be able to help those students, because that's not their goal. Their goal is to get paid. So, for example, not to say all pastors are crooked. My dad was actually a pastor growing up. Okay. You know, if a pastor that's not really true with reading and studying the word and trying to live right, of course everybody gonna make mistakes. Mm-hmm. But if you ain't really living that life and really trying to pursue that life, mm-hmm. how you gonna get in front of people and teach them that life? Like, you gonna confuse them people. Mm-hmm. People gonna see you saying one thing, be this way, treat people this way, but then, you know, behind closed doors you doing something totally different, and people see that. Like, they not gonna really understand, like, what's the real. Right. And I feel like that might have been something that happened with me growing up in the church. I saw a lot behind closed doors.
Oh, me too, bro.
You know, and that kind of, it created that. I don't really get this at all.
That turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that, like, for me, that's like that one thing that causes people to not really understand God.
Right.
So do you think that people make, in your